This is what I said in my last Bitcoins video. If the price ends up breaking these support levels, we are likely to see it dropping all the way here. In less than 24 hours after posting this video, this is what happened. Are you curious to know what's going to happen next? Watch to the end of this video to know what are the possibilities of Bitcoin. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is King. I'm a full-time trader and investor. Today's video is not meant to provide any kind of financial advice and is purely for educational purposes. If it's your first time in the channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. That will help me keep giving you content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave the links for you below. Let's get started. So as you have seen from the subject of this video, I do believe that the correction is over and the recovery shall be starting soon. This projection is based on two different factors that come from the monthly and the weekly charts. So let me start with the monthly chart, and I will go down in time frames to the weekly and then the daily to explain to you what do I mean. As you can see in the monthly chart over here, I've highlighted three different pieces. Each one of those pieces represents an impulse, a full complete wave from each one of the cycles. This was the impulse from the 2013 cycle. This was the impulse from the 2017, 2016, 2017 cycle, and this is the current impulse from this cycle. If you look at the three yellow circles over here, you will notice that Bitcoin has never had more than 2 consecutive months of correction in each one of those impulses. So in the year of 2013, it only had 2 months of correction in a row, which were the month of May, the month of June, and then it resumed its uptrend from there. Similarly, this happened in the 2016-2017 cycle, where it happened in July and August of 2016. And this correction, this pullback that we're having right now, is likely similar to the previous two corrections here and here. The basic principle of technical analysis say that history always tends to repeat itself. So if we take this principle in consideration, we shall be seeing Bitcoin resuming its uptrend and printing green candles from next month onwards. So the current month candle is likely to be closing in red. Now, it may be closing where it is right now, or maybe a bit higher or even lower. Starting from the beginning of next month, we shall be seeing a movement similar to the movement that happened after the previous monthly corrections from the previous two cycles here and here. So in 2013, after having 2 consecutive months of correction, we had a drop down for a little bit, but it ended up closing as green candle, and then the month after, and then we continued going up towards the end of the year. This also happened in the cycle of 2016-2017. After a 2 consecutive months of correction, 2 consecutive red candles, we kept going up from here all the way till the end of December. So this theory of mine suggests that on the monthly chart, we are done with the correction and we shall be resuming our uptrend very soon. Now let us go to the weekly chart and take a look at the second factor. This is the weekly chart, and as you can see over here, I highlighted these pullbacks from the previous cycles and the current cycle. In other words, the difference in price between the highest price that we reached and the pullback lowest price was at least 40% or more. The current cycle seems to be more similar to the 2013 cycle rather than being similar to the 2017 cycle. First of all, because the percentages of both pullbacks that happened in this cycle, 53% and 64%, are similar or are closer in value to the pullback percentages in 2013, which are 56 and 82%. The highest pullback we had in 2017 was 41%. So there's more similarity between the current cycle and the 2013 cycle. Let us now zoom in a little bit and compare these two pullbacks, the current pullback and the previous pullback from this cycle. You can see here a similarity in behavior. So both of these pullbacks were sharp pullback. So if we assume that this pullback has ended over here and is going to do something similar to the last pullback from February 2020, so it's likely to continue its uptrend and take around a month or two to reach the previous high, which was around 65,000. I know some people may say that 2 months is a lot of time, but this is exactly how it worked in each one of the previous cycles, with one exception being the pullback in the year 2017. However, I said at the beginning that the current cycle is similar to the 2013 cycle, has more similarity between its pullbacks and the 2013 cycles, and each one of those recoveries took about 2 months in time, and the first recovery from the first pullback in this cycle took also about 2 months in time. So if the same history is going to repeat itself, we are going to see higher prices, but this is not going to happen before 2 months time from now. But we shall start seeing recoveries from next week onwards. Let us go to the daily chart now and try to see or break down how this recovery should happen from here. As you can see, these are the current support and resistance level left there from my previous analysis. In the last video, I said that once we break these levels over here, we're going to see Bitcoin going down all the way towards the 30,000. And this is exactly what happened. Now, does this mean that the drop down is finished? That's not necessarily. And in order to explain to you why, I will go to the 4 hours chart. As long as we're within the support area, we are still on the safe side. We can say that the recovery shall still be in play. Now, what this means, if you see the price heading down a bit more, you don't need to panic once you see that, because as long as we're above this level over here, so the theory of recovery still applies. Now, the most critical point is going to be the price point of 43,300. Let's put a line in here. This exact point over here. As long as we're below this level, I won't be able to confirm resuming uptrend, because when the price closes above this level, and when I mean closes, we should have a close of a candle above the 43,700 or 600 level. Now, when the price does that, this is going to be a very important first confirmation that would tell us that the trend is likely to continue up. Because if this happens, we would have formed a high, a higher low, and then another higher high on the smaller time frame. It does not look so good. Here's another one. So this is one high, this is one low, which is a higher low, higher than this one over here, and then another higher high. And this is the basic rule of a trend reversal. So when we're trending up, the price is forming higher highs and higher lows. When we're trending down, the price is forming lower highs and lower lows. So if you want to have a basic confirmation that tells you the price has reversed from a downtrend to an uptrend, we need to see the last low, a high, and then a higher low, and then a higher high. So if the price closes somewhere over here, that's going to be the first confirmation of trend reversal. But that's not going to be enough, because we will be needing a second confirmation as well. And this confirmation will be the cross of this trend line over here. So if the price starts its reversal from here and forms a higher high above 43,000, that will be the first confirmation. The second confirmation, we need to retest this trend line and break it. And for all this to happen, we need to see momentum, which means we need to see green candles that are way bigger than the red candle. So the price has to be going up in an impulsive way. So if that has to happen, we need to see something like this, and then a little pullback, and then another impulse up towards this level. So the whole momentum has to be very impulsive. We have to see a lot of big and strong green candles. So once we get here, if we break this trend line and go up, that will be the second confirmation, and this would mean that we'll be resuming our uptrend. But we also have another probability, which is, in my opinion, is a stronger probability that we should be looking at. As I said to you in the weekly chart, that the recovery in pullbacks like this took about a month or two. So if we calculate 1.5 to 2 months from this point over here, that's going to be sometime in the beginning of July. So if history repeats itself and we recover in the same way that we did in previous pullbacks from this cycle and from 2013 cycles, we are likely to see the price going slowly in a more sideways manner rather than seeing an impulsive movement upwards for at least the next 1.5 to 2 months. So this might be one move, and then we might see another sideways movement till here, and then another move up from here, and then another sideways movement, and then another move up, which could possibly break down the trend line and retest the previous high. And this could be somewhere around the beginning of July. So if this scenario happens, we are going to see recovery, but it's not going to be that strong right from the beginning. So it might take another 1.5 to 2 months. Now the good news in this scenario, if this happens, it will give an opportunity to the altcoins that already experienced a big loss in value during the last pullback. It will give them a great opportunity to recover faster, and we might see some of them breaking up their all-time high very fast, maybe in the next coming weeks. So this scenario is going to be very good for altcoins and give a breathing space to Bitcoin and give it a chance to get outside its overbought area. And that's something very important which I forgot to show you. So this is Bitcoin's monthly chart again, and I'm gonna add this custom indicator that I use over here. So if you notice, that's also a very important thing. At each one of these 2 consecutive months of correction over here, Bitcoin was in an overbought area. So right when it happened here, the price started going down and the indicator turned red, which gave Bitcoin a little bit of breathing space, so it can go down and then pull up again. This happened similarly in 2016. So 2 months of correction, get a small breathing space, and then continue the trend up. And that's exactly what's happening right now. So April and May, 2 consecutive months of pullback, and the indicator is turning red. So if we go up slowly, as I said, if we take 1.5 to 2 months to retest the previous all-time high of Bitcoin, this will allow this indicator to go down a little bit more and give Bitcoin a breathing space so it can start trending up again from this point onwards. So we came to the end of this video and I want to sum this up. So first of all, on the monthly chart, Bitcoin looks very healthy and it seems to be repeating a behavior from the previous cycles where it had 2 consecutive months of correction and then it continued its uptrend from there. It also got a little bit of breathing space on the custom indicator over here, which will allow it to go to a further higher price points in the months to come. In the weekly chart, we have had similar pullbacks in the past, and we noticed that the current cycle has more similarity to the 2013 cycle rather than being similar to the 2017 cycle. The recovery is going to take 1 to 1.5, maybe to 2 months from here for us to retest the previous all-time high of Bitcoin, because it will likely repeat the same corrective structure that we had after each one of those pullbacks in 2013 and in the current cycle. So overall, I would say that the situation is healthy now. Bitcoin shall be seeing a good recovery in the coming weeks. There is no need to panic, and that's very important, especially for the newcomers to the crypto space. I've been there. I know how does it feel, but please listen to the sound of logic. There's a lot of people out there who speak logic and who know how does this market function. It's not necessarily to be me. There's a lot of good and great people over there. So please don't panic sell. I know a lot of people who have sent me messages on social media and they have sold their holdings at the all-time low in the last fall. Unfortunately, they have sold somewhere around 30 or 31,000 and they've lost so much by now. So if you're new into the crypto space, remember to hold. That's the best strategy you can do for now, because the cycle is definitely not near this end, at least for now. And take some time also to get to learn and understand technical analysis, so this can help you in decision making and make you avoid falling into traps that you should not be falling into. If you're not following me on social media, I will leave the links below to for Twitter and Instagram. Follow me. I post a lot of helpful information in there. And that's the end of today's video. Thank you for watching and we'll see you later.